Today we're going to go over 10 commonly asked questions about breathing, and if your question isn't answered, I invite you to send it to me. Hi, I'm Alison Star. I'm a movement educator, and over the past 20 years, I've taught thousands of students and clients moving and breathing for healing. In this podcast, we explore the intersection of the yoga tradition, movement science, and modern neuroscience. Let's dive into those questions. Number 1, is there a right way to breathe? And have I been breathing wrong my whole life? Yes, there is an optimal, functional, quote unquote, right way to breathe. And there is a dysfunctional, improper, less than desirable way to breathe. And yes, you may have been breathing improperly, dysfunctionally your whole life, but it's not your fault. No one teaches you how to breathe. Most of your breathing patterns and habits are absorbed. You just begin breathing, and it's largely based on how others are breathing around you. Add to that, modern postural patterns, especially sitting and slumping, reinforces dysfunctional breathing. When you sit for long periods of time, your deep core goes offline, so you can't really hold yourself upright. And then the chest collapses, reinforcing that short, shallow, chest-driven breathing that creates a sense of never being able to get a full deep breath. So what do? Most of us will try to sit upright and we push the ribs forward. This is a different pattern of dysfunctional breathing. And with the ribs forward, the respiratory diaphragm can't move freely and fully, so we're still stuck in that short, shallow chest breathing. Not to mention, with the ribs forward, we still can't get the deep core online. So both of these habits, sitting and slumping and collapsing, lifting the chest up, shoulders back, ribs forward, create the same pattern of the respiratory diaphragm not being able to move fully and freely, and that shallow chest-driven breathing continues, which actually reinforces the stress cycle in the nervous system. So what do we do instead? Instead of sitting and slumping or lifting the chest up and pushing the ribs forward, we want to get stacked with rib cage and pelvis so the respiratory diaphragm, pelvic floor diaphragm can talk. This sets up intra-abdominal pressure. We'll get to that in a moment when we talk about breathing for core. But to wrap up question number 1, yes, there is a way to breathe that's beneficial for all systems in the body. We call this functional breathing. And there are ways of breathing that are less optimal, that actually create dysfunction in the systems of your body. And it's not just about air moving in and out through your lungs. It's about how the muscle of breathing, the respiratory diaphragm, is moving. It'll impact the air coming in and out through your lungs, your nervous system, your digestion, your circulation, literally everything. Question number 2, why do I hold my breath when I'm stressed, concentrating, and studies show you hold your breath when you're looking at your phone? When you're stressed, concentrating, even when you're looking at your phone, you're often bracing. That bracing isn't just in your body, it's in your nervous system. It's part of the fight or flight response. This is also called the sympathetic pathway. The sympathetic pathway triggers short, shallow, chest-driven breathing, and short, shallow, chest-driven breathing further stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. So you can end up in a vicious cycle of short, shallow breathing and or holding your breathing and bracing, which will further increase the stress, the anxiety. It can actually narrow your vision. So yes, you're concentrating, but you can also get pigeonholed and stuck more easily. And this is exactly what happens on our phone. The quick fix is inhale through your nose and take a long exhale through pursed lips like you're breathing through a straw. The long exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, activates the parasympathetic pathway, so you'll start breathing more deeply, but you're also going to open your mind and your perspective and reset your nervous system. Question number 3, is mouth breathing really that bad? The science says yes, and it's probably even worse than you think. For example, in his book Breathe, James Nestor plugs his nose, so he's only mouth breathing. And there is a cascade of negative health benefits that happens. Everything from poor sleep to brain fog, generalized anxiety, higher blood pressure. Mouth breathing's also linked to dental and jaw problems, gum disease. It is big. Breathing through your nose, on the other hand, has a positive cascade of health benefits, including a filtration system, balancing CO2 and oxygen, generating nitric oxide, which is like a miracle molecule for the body. To make it short, mouth breathing is bad, probably worse than you think. Try to breathe in and out through your nose as much as possible. Question 4. Why does my yoga teacher say breathe into my belly? Can air really go there? Not really. And I would never encourage you to breathe into your belly. Instead, you want to breathe into your diaphragm. You want to feel the ribs expand front, back, side to side, what we call breathing with circumference. I believe many yoga teachers and meditation teachers gave the cue to breathe into your belly to get you out of the chest breathing, to draw the breath lower into your body. While breathing into your belly might be a slight improvement to breathing into your chest, we can do better. And better is breathing with the diaphragm. But yoga teachers say even stranger things like breathe into your hips, breathe into your feet, and that gets interesting because of the link between prana, breathing, and fascia. In the yoga tradition, prana is life force energy. It's similar to mana in Hawaii, 𝐾𝐨 in other Eastern traditions. And breathing is the vehicle for prana. It's not prana, it's what carries prana into your body. And breathing hydrates connective tissue. It opens it up. And remember that connective tissue is like a fluid-filled web inside of your body. So breathing will hydrate and open up connective tissue. And then it does feel like something's happening, something's changing. There's space and expansion in unusual areas of your body, areas where air cannot go, like your hips, like your feet, like your mid-back. So don't breathe into your belly. Breathe with your diaphragm. And breathing with your diaphragm can hydrate fascia, connective tissue, and create a sense of aliveness and openness in all areas of your body. Question number 5, can breathing really make me stronger, or is that just a yoga thing? Yes, breathing can absolutely make you stronger. I would say it's actually the only thing that can. Why? Breathing functionally sets up intra-abdominal pressure. It makes the core of your body solid and strong, like a taut drum. Without intra-abdominal pressure, every system in your body is compromised. And this is why they can link functional breathing with things like ankle instability. Intra-abdominal pressure requires the alignment of your rib cage and your pelvis. And then your respiratory diaphragm and your pelvic floor diaphragm move in tandem. They move in relationship, and this creates a pressurized system in the abdominal cavity. Important to note that it is set in motion by your breathing. You can't will it, you can't make it happen. It's like you align the structures of your body so that it occurs naturally. Intra-abdominal pressure is perfectly aligned with the bandhas from the yoga tradition and the deep front line in the myofascial meridians. Question number 6, why do I get dizzy when I do breath work? Not all breathing practices are the same. Breathwork and pranayama are like exercises, training for your breathing system, similar to weightlifting or running. They're not meant to be your default everyday setting. That is functional breathing. Fast, fiery breathing practices like Kapalabhati, skull shining, or breath of fire, or the holotropic breathing, they are very stimulating for the nervous system, and they're resetting the oxygen CO2 balance. So you can have all kinds of experiences like your hands seizing up or getting lightheaded. Other breathing practices like Brahmari, bee buzzing breath, are meant to calm down and soothe your nervous system so you can even get drowsy. While breath work and pranayama are intended to have a certain impact or effect on your body, mind, and nervous system, functional breathing is intended to be your default setting, and it's driven by the diaphragm, in and out through your nose, slow, soft, and subtle. Question 7, can breathing impact my hormones and my perimenopause or menopause symptoms? Absolutely, because breathing impacts every system in your body. For your hormones, the big benefits of breathing come from what it can do for your nervous system, your sleep, and your cortisol levels. Breathing functionally reduces the inflammatory response in the body. It will also balance the branches of your nervous system, so you're less likely to be on that sympathetic overdrive where your body's just cranking out cortisol. Breathing functionally will also help with your sleep, which will help with your cortisol, which will help with your hormones, which will help with everything. So yes, breathing will impact your hormones, and not in a direct way, but in the way it impacts your nervous system, your inflammatory response, levels of cortisol, and sleep. Question 8, can breathing really affect my mood and how I'm feeling? Yes, because your breathing influences your nervous system. Your inhale is driven by the phrenic nerve, so it stimulates a sympathetic response. Your exhale is driven by the vagus nerve and stimulates a parasympathetic response. So balanced breathing balances the branches of your nervous system. When you know this, you can also use your breathing more strategically. If you want to calm down, elongate your exhale. Get more cool, calm, and content, parasympathetic track. If you want to pick up your energy, elongate and exaggerate the inhale. That'll give you more of that sympathetic get up and go mobilization response. Your breathing will influence your mood because of its impact on your nervous system. Question 9, what's the difference between breathing practice and meditation? Most meditation traditions will start you off focusing on your breathing. This is for many reasons, including your breathing is the link between your conscious and unconscious mind. The yoga tradition will even say your breathing and your mind are like two fish that swim together. One is always leading. For most of us, most of the time, it's our mind. When we train our mind on our breathing gets to lead, and it has tremendous impact on the nervous system and the quality of the mind. Students who struggle with meditation often find great success with breathing practice. It's a little bit ironic. I think this is because instead of trying to wrestle your monkey mind into submission, you let your breathing lull the monkey mind to sleep. So it's less of a difference and more of a rebrand that can give many people a sense of success and accomplishment with breathing practice that they haven't had with meditation. Question 10, what happens to my breathing as I age, and is there anything I can do about it? As we age, patterns build up, they catch up with us, and they impact us more and more. With age, we often become tighter and more restricted in the chest and upper back, and this decreases our breathing space. Our lung capacity also shrinks. By breathing, you are training your diaphragm. It's like you're teaching it to be a marathon runner so it can support you your whole life. So practice is what you can do about it. Work with your breathing and you literally improve every system in your body. That's true today, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. If you want to practice breathing with the support of community, guided by expert teachers, join us for the Fall in Love with Your Breathing Challenge. It begins October 6th. There are replays available, extra resources, and more in the app. Use the link below to get access now.